Welcome back to our second video in the Squarespace 7.1 e-commerce series. In that first video, we walked through how to set up your shop, add your first products or services, add a way for people to pay you, and which Squarespace plan to pick based off what you need to sell on your website, what you need your website to do. So if you have yet to watch that video, I definitely recommend hitting pause real quick and starting there instead. Here is that video, and I'll also link it in the description for you below as well. Okay, so in this video, we will be covering the basics of customizing the look and layout of your shop and product pages that we set up in the last video. So before we do though, I am just genuinely really curious to know, what is it that you are setting up your shop for? Whether you'll be using it to sell physical products or digital products, or you'll be using it to sell your services. I'm just really curious to know what you're selling on your website, so let me know in the comments below. Alrighty, so as I mentioned in the previous video, your shop page for the most part acts like any other page on your site. Meaning you can add in new sections, fill them with content, and adjust the style settings for each individual section using its little pencil or style icon. If you need to take a step back and learn how to start adding pages, sections, and content to your site, I have just the video you need right here. I'll also pop a link in the description below. Okay, so the only thing that actually separates your shop page from your regular pages is actually this little shop section right here. This was specifically designed by Squarespace to display your products and will automatically populate with any new listings you add to your store. So while you can't add or remove content blocks from this type of section or delete the section itself, you do have quite a few options on how your products display. Let's go through the options you have for making edits to your built-in shop section. To find the section settings, click Edit on your shop page, then click this little style icon. This is where you would go to change the spacing and padding around your product thumbnails, how many columns you'd like to organize your products into, whether your images will be cropped, square, vertically, horizontally, or some other aspect ratio, and a few settings for tweaking your product's preview text. You also have the option to hide or show the price of products in this section, and whether your shop categories will display across the top or the side of the page. You can tell it whether you want the title of your shop collection to be displayed and where to display it, as well as whether to display breadcrumbs or the steps it took to get to that page, so that a site visitor could click on any of the pages in the breadcrumb trail to return to it. You can also use your pre-built color themes to change the look of your shop section, background, and text. Remember, these themes have already been decided over in your Site Styles panel before you start to build the bulk of your site. Then you just use these buttons to try on your different color themes to see which one you think fits that specific section. If you have yet to watch my guide to using Site Styles in 7.1, I walk you through all the steps to setting your themes and then applying them to your site, as well as setting your font and button styles site-wide. You can watch that here. I'll also pop it in the description below. If you want to change the order categories appear on the page, we have to head back into the store settings from that first video. So go to Pages, click on your store page, then click on the gear icon to open up your store settings. Head under the Categories tab. This is where you would make changes to the order your categories appear on your shop page navigation by dragging and dropping them in the order you want. But if you want to change the order of products your visitor sees when they click on a specific category, just open that category in the store panel and drag and drop your products there, or use the three little dots and click Send to top or bottom if that's quicker. Now let's look at how to customize individual product pages. To view a product's page, click the category it lives in, then on the product itself. You'll see that Squarespace has already created us a basic page based on the information we put in our product settings while setting up the product in the first video. So if we want to add or remove any content, we first have to do it there. But if we want to tweak the layout or design of the page, it's done here under Edit Design. Then click this little style icon. You'll notice it opens up this design panel with all these options for spacing and padding for your thumbnail image, how your images will be cropped, how your text will align compared to your image, whether you will display breadcrumbs on that specific product page, how large to display the image compared to the text, whether to display your images as stacked, carousel, or a slideshow, what you'd like to have happen when your visitor clicks on or hovers over the image, and whether your product gallery or images will be on the left or right of the page. Next, let's head over to our design panel to see what we can be changing in there. If you remember from my video on using site styles to customize your site, Most of the font, color, and button styles are decided prior to designing your site, since the changes you make here are site-wide. You wouldn't want to update something here and have it totally change a design you were already happy with somewhere on another page. But when it comes to site styles, Squarespace will only give you options for styling that which already exists on your site. Meaning, if you didn't have a shop added by the time you went to set all of your site styles, you may not have had the option to tweak them just then. So now that your shop has been added, let's look at what you can tweak. Starting with the fonts. Now, you don't want to go changing the whole font pack that you previously picked for your site, but you can go in and customize the fonts that will appear on your shop page or individual product pages. To do that, scroll down to Assign Styles. The options you have here will change based on the page you have open on the right. So if you haven't opened your shop page, it will show you the options for editing your title, description, and price there. If you have an actual product page open, you'll be given the options for styling those things separately as well. For each one you edit, just open it up and either assign a previously set font style and size from your site-wide font pack, or create a whole new custom font look for that one element by selecting Custom. Alright, so when you first go to start building a site and use the site styles to set an overall color palette, Squarespace honestly does a pretty bang-up job of using design best practices to choose all the ways those color palettes get applied to your site. Usually, swapping out your color themes in each section is enough to shake things up, but if you want complete control over how your colors from your palette are applied to the different parts of your site, including your shop, you'll want to come here under Colors, Section Themes, and then click into each individual theme. You can scroll through the options you have for changing colors site-wide, but the easier way is just click on the element on the page and Squarespace will automatically show you the options for that element. You'll notice when you have your Colors panel open in the site styles that Squarespace shows you which color theme has been assigned to each section of the page. But keep in mind that any changes to the theme are site-wide, meaning they will affect anywhere that the theme has been applied to your site, not just your store. Okay, so your options for tweaking your cart icon and shop button can be found right in your header section. So click Edit on any page and click Edit Header. Open up Elements. You don't necessarily need to use this button for your shop. You can title it anything you like, change the URL it leads to, or just hide it altogether and include a link to your shop in your regular main navigation by dragging and dropping your shop page up into your main navigation section of your Pages panel. But if you want to use this button for your shop, name it Shop or whatever fits with what you're offering, then grab your shop URL slug to pop in the link area. To get your shop URL, just open this little gear icon beside your shop page in the Pages panel and copy and paste this little URL slug here. Then, decide what size you'd like your cart icon to be compared to your button using this slider. Remember, the color of your button and cart icon is tied to whatever color theme you've applied to your header. If you've set your header as white minimal, it will use whatever button color was assigned to that theme when you were setting your site styles. And your cart icon will always take on the same color as your main navigation links. So those are the best practices for customizing the look and layout of your product pages. If you found this video helpful, be sure to let me know by hitting that like button. And if you want to go beyond design and learn the best practices for building a site that converts your visitors into actual paying clients and customers, which is what we all want, then make sure to take advantage of my most popular free training, Build a Site That Sells 101. It is a 60-minute on-demand webinar loaded with my best tips for getting your site to sell on autopilot. I will pop the link to that in the description below. And if you want more tips and tricks for customizing your Squarespace site, then be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to be notified when I drop a new video every single week. In the meantime, check out these videos too.